Yeah, so people just line up. We have we use a blue table to sort everything. People just dump it in, and then we sort plastic on one side, aluminum on the other, and then glass down on the bottom. My workers, my counters, they know the bottle bill, so they know what we can take, what we can't take, and we're very specific about what we can take. And then everything that we can't take, Jasmine right here is actually sorting them to get further recycled.
All right, so this was the scene early this morning at the People's Depot, a spot under the Morrison Bridge on the east side of Portland, for people to bring bottles and cans and redeem them for cash. It's the kind of operation that we could see more of if Senate Bill 992 passes. Supporters say the bill would modernize Oregon's first in the nation bottle bill, which was passed in 1971. Back then, the bottle bill was a pioneering law to add a 5-cent deposit on the sale of cans and bottles, and you would get that money back if you return it to be recycled. That deposit today is 10 cents. It's generally considered to be a big success in its original intention to reduce litter. Last year, the Oregon Beverage Recycling Commission, which runs the program, says more than 90% of bottles and cans were redeemed, 152 million pounds of material recycled. But the quick access to cash under the bottle bill has some people concerned. Right now, stores are required to count out bottles and cans and redeem them during any hours that they're open, even in the middle of the night at a 24-hour convenience store. Now, last year, under the 90-day fentanyl state of emergency, which was coordinated by the city of Portland, Multnomah County, and the state, 2 stores downtown Portland, a Plaid Pantry on Southwest Jefferson Street and Safeway about a block away, were allowed to pause accepting redemptions after reporting showed it was becoming a hotspot for drug use and crime. People were redeeming cans and then using that money to buy drugs like fentanyl. Safeway says the pause helped. Plaid Pantry told us the problem just moved down the street to one of their other stores. Okay, so now lawmakers are coming at the issue from another angle. Senate Bill 992 would limit the hours that big stores accept cans and bottles from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Now, for smaller stores like Plaid Pantry, if there's an alternative drop-off site nearby, like the People's Depot, they would shut down redemptions at 6 p.m. The bill would also help fund those drop-off sites so they could expand to more places. Christopher Brown, the manager of the People's Depot under the Morrison Bridge, testified in support of the bill. He says the workers at the depot, who are canners themselves, know the bottle bill inside and out, and they can take the burden off of grocery stores.
Once if SB 992 does go into effect, we'll be able to expand a little bit more. We want to expand into mobile depots to where, like, I can show up with a truck and go do bottle returns somewhere for 2 hours, and that would help, like, vastly relieve the lines at the grocery stores and whatnot. We normally, like, in our first half an hour of the day, we take in more than what most of the grocery stores do an entire 8-hour day.
Now, one of the supporters of the bill, Senator Janine Salmon, who represents Western Washington County, says she wants to see that happen.
So this was looking at how in the city of Portland we could expand a really successful program like the People's Depot, and it becomes workforce issues, it becomes a community issue of really trying to serve folks, and then also limiting those hours within those stores in that area so that some of the bigger stores, they're going to expand their blue and green bag opportunities.
The bill flew through the Senate on a 28-1 vote, but there was some pushback from those who say it doesn't go far enough to address the drug problem. That includes Ann Naughton, who runs a dental practice in Northeast Portland.
We are asking to deal with the immediacy of cash. The daily canners go in, they get their cash, they go right outside for the drug transaction where the drug sellers are waiting to prey upon them. They go around the fence to either across the street or McDonald's or our property and pass out. Some OD, some die.
I've also witnessed that happening. Representative Darcy Edwards, who represents Columbia County and parts of Washington and Multnomah counties as well, ultimately voted to pass the bill out of committee, but with some hesitation.
Again, this is a Portland problem. They literally say it, a Portland problem. And Portland doesn't do their job and handle it. And so we have to come in and kind of do their work for them. And this has nothing to do with the bottle bill or any of that. This is a whole separate world. And we have actually spent, an hour on a problem that literally is just the fentanyl and drug problem. But we hid it in a bill for something else to put a Band-Aid on.
Senator Salmon claims the bill is not really aimed at addressing the drug crisis. It's more about modernizing the bottle bill and helping alleviate the burden on stores. Again, the bill is through the Senate and is set for a reading on the House floor tomorrow, and there could be a vote. If approved, it would head to the governor's desk, and we'll keep you posted. Well, joining me live now is Jonathan Polonsky, the CEO of Plaid Pantry. Mr. Polonsky, thanks for coming on the show.
Good.
So last time you and I spoke was last spring outside the Plaid Pantry in Portland at Southwest 11th and Jefferson Street. And it was during the city's fentanyl state of emergency when the task force behind that paused bottle redemption services at that Plaid Pantry location due to criminal activity and safety concerns. And I remember you were even considering closing that location. So first, for those who are just hearing of this, what are the safety concerns connected to bottle redemption services that you have seen?
The major issue is focusing around Portland City Center, and it's really late at night. That's when we have our biggest safety concerns. So I'm happy that this bill is moving the hours of operation for retailers from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's going to be a huge improvement statewide. In downtown Portland, I still think the jury will be out on this new experiment that they're doing with the Alternative Redemption Center to see how that plays out.
Can you talk me through some of those safety concerns? I mean, last time we spoke, some staff were even quitting. Like what is happening?
Yeah. So, I mean, you can imagine as you're led into this story talking about drug use, we've experienced all those things. We have, 104 stores in Oregon, 57 of them have Portland addresses. So we see this on a daily basis, and it ranges from people coming in who are, not in a good state of mind because they're on drugs, and they can be very aggressive, to even finding trace drugs on the cans and bottles that we take in. We require our associates to wear gloves when they take in those bottles and cans, but occasionally they get busy and they forget, and we've had some people, come in contact with fentanyl and literally pass out just from that trace amount.
Oh my gosh, that's so dangerous. Has it gotten any better since the last time we spoke? Are you still thinking of maybe closing that Jefferson Street location?
Well, the Jefferson Street location still is not open at night. We still feel it's not safe to operate at night, so it closes in the middle of the night. But as we spoke earlier, the traffic that was at that store has simply migrated. We have two other stores, one by PSU and one on Southwest First and Lincoln. And so basically that traffic has just moved to other stores. Those stores have a little more foot traffic during the night, and they're in a little bit better area as far as just activity. So it's still a safety concern, but it's just not what it is at 11th and Jefferson.
All right, Mr. Polonsky, thanks so much for coming on the show.
You bet.
All right, now it's your turn to weigh in. Talk to us. Do you think the bottle bill needs to be modernized? Why or why not? And do you think the bill we talked about today goes far enough? Email us, the story at kgw.com, or call and leave a voicemail, 503-226-5090.